Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we will be discussing software architecture style. Again, in today's world, any application that you want to make it scalable, you want to make it cost effective, you need to make sure that which software architecture you are going to follow. So for the long time, this monolithic architecture was prevalent, and whatever application you are creating, it was basically on monolithic architecture. Means one database, 10 modules, they were sharing the single database. So in terms of flexibility, we have the standard architecture that there will be only one database, and even if that database is not required, so if we have 4 modules or 10 modules, and out of that only 2 modules required that particular type of database, and other modules they require different type of database, but still you have to go with one single database. Now in case of any issue, now issue isolation, because again it is a monolithic, all the modules are tightly coupled and everything is related to database. So we have to, for any change, we have to update the code, and then again we have to redeploy that. So this is monolithic. Now the era is of microservice architecture. So microservices, again, it has the software architecture style, it has full flexibility. Now if you have 10 modules, and 10 modules they require different databases, so you have to just check like single responsibility principle. So every module they should be able to work, and they should able to implement only one single module. And the aim is like, if it is a product module, it will be able to do all the things that are related to product. There should be an order module, there will be a category module. So we just want to make sure that these are the different modules. So right now there are two things. One is like, if you are going to create an application from scratch, in that case you have the option of setting up the architecture so that you are creating different modules. These modules will be loosely coupled. You have the benefit of choosing the database. So if you have a database where you want to store the user information, you have the liberty to choose MySQL, Postgres, SQL Server. If it is a semi-structured data, you have the flexibility, just like you want to have you want to improve you want to optimize your search, you can go with the elastic search. So again, it is a document type data in which there will be key value pairs. If there are some files that needs to be stored, you can go with the container. So basically monolithic architecture involves building an application as a single interconnected unit. All the components are tightly integrated in monolithic. Microservices are a software architecture style in which an application is divided into small, loosely coupled services that can be developed, deployed, and maintained independently. 10 modules, 10 different deployment, and again, if there is any issue, you will be facing in a particular module, but rest other modules are. So if you talk about main advantage of microservice, so scalability again, because these are individual components and individual component can be scaled. So if particular component requires more memory, more CPU, so in that case it can be horizontally scaled. So number of new VMs can be added and deleted at runtime. Flexibility, again, as I told you, you have a flexibility to choose your favorite programming language, you have the flexibility to choose your databases. Then all these are basically on continuous delivery and deployment. So again, CI/CD, so uptime is maximum. Fault isolation. So fault isolation is very important, because again, if there is an issue, just by Checking the issue, you can say that which particular microservice, which particular component, and which particular database has the issue. So in case of monolithic, you have to go because everything was interconnected, and even if you are going to make any change, you have to make sure that since the modules were interconnected, so you have to make sure that which modules are going to be affected. But in this case, it is not the case. You have to just go because the modules are independent, and you have to just make sure that you are identifying that particular module and you are updating that module. Then every module has a single responsibility, so you know that okay, if product is not working, category is not working, if order is not working, you know which microservice needs to be done. And again, these all microservices are registered with a API gateway that makes sure that okay, for any type of request, which microservice needs to be invoked. So we have all these are loosely coupled, independent deployment, no deployment is connected with each other, and even if one microservice want to send information or retrieve information, they can do either using synchronous method, using opening the REST API, again using JWT authentication or any other authentication you want. So the communication between these microservices is also done using REST API. And also you can do using asynchronous, in which you can put PubSub or any Kafka, in which user doesn't have to wait for the completion. They can just push it, publisher and subscriber concept. Scalability, it can horizontally scroll up to any number of VMs that is required, in case of memory, in case of CPU. So all those things can be done. And monitoring and observability. So you can monitor, again, central logs are there for all the microservice, so that you can check all the logs at one place. Then mainly challenges if there is any existing monolithic architecture software. So the main challenge is first of all, like, the chances are those are all interconnected. So it is not just deployment, or it is the first thing is like it'll start from the programming, where you have to make changes in the code also, so that we have to create independent modules. Plus there are something that are being shared between different modules, so we need to have some global one, and then we have to make sure that when we are creating these all independent modules and there is some global module, so the database is global. So the moment some data is updated by one module, it should be reflected, the data should be consistent. So all those things we need to take care in order to make sure that this microservice architecture is successful. So friends, these are the all different things, or you can say the basic details of microservice architecture. You can implement it using any cloud service, whether it is AWS, whether it is Azure, or whether it is GCP. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching this video.